I'm gonna do my best to share exactly what I did step by step, very succinctly. First thing I want to say is, obviously my mom didn't have anything that had happened to her face, so I wasn't dealing with any sort of like corrective makeup in that sense. The very first thing that I worked on were her brows, because I knew that I didn't want to put any sort of base on if I had to wipe something off. Just use an ultra fine pen, did some hair-like strokes and brushed it out, and it looked so beautiful. Then I moved on to her base. A lot of people suggested obviously foundation, liquid, and cream, but when I put any sort of foundation on her face, it just doesn't really blend. It's like doing makeup on stone. Skin is obviously hard. It's not absorbing anything. It's a little clammy. It's cold. I knew right away that I had to throw foundation out the window, which is funny because that's kind of what I teach online. And instead of doing foundation as her base, I put bronzer all over her entire face, the most beautiful cream bronzer, and it like instantly brought her skin back to life. And from there, I did blush, and I chose a very like kind of warm pink tone, almost like this, maybe a little bit warmer. Then I went in and I just spot treated any areas that had extra discoloration. So it was a little bit more blue or purple or green. I did a pretty orange sheer foundation color because I didn't want it to add texture or a layer to the skin. Now for her eyes, I ended up doing false lashes, and I just got strip lashes from Walmart. Because the skin is kind of cold and clammy, it does take a while for that glue to become tacky. On the ends, I found it was a little trickier. If you're comfortable with it, you could even use a tiny bit of super glue once you have it in place, just to really seal it down. And then I just took like a lip brush with some cream liner on the end, and I just put it underneath the false lash, and that just really helped hide the glue that was there. I added bronzer on her eyes, just again to warm everything up. The hardest part about all of this was actually doing her lips, because they obviously glue, the mouth closed, so she has a line of glue. And I'll also sometimes put a layer of soft wax over the lips just to help smooth them out. Before I applied any lip color, I actually did a very sheer light layer of bronzer all over the lips to help warm them up. They were a little bit blue and pale, and so that just helped give it a nice base and a little outlining to her lips. Use a lip brush to apply in a more dense lip formula. Do not just apply straight from a tube of lipstick or something like that. I would dip the lip brush into the lip product, and then I would just pat it onto the lips ever so slightly to not move the soft wax around underneath. Then I took a thicker gloss, same thing. I took that lip brush, put the lip gloss on the brush, and would just tap it to add that sheer kind of sheen-like look. Now, a lot of people actually suggested using powder because they are kind of clammy. I personally think that makes them look more mannequin-like, so I avoided powder, and I actually ended up adding a beautiful light sheer illuminator to the high points of her face, just to give her skin that glow that makes it look more like life. By the end, she looked like a true sleeping beauty, truly the essence of my mother. And one last piece of advice I want to give you is, if you're feeling anxious or nervous like I was, it's okay to feel that, but also I promise when you get in there and you just start doing their makeup and talking to them just like they were there, you'll feel a sense of peace. I know she was there with me, and after I finished, I just stood there staring at her, and I felt her so clearly put her arm around me and tell me thank you. And that's an experience I'll never be able to get back, and I'm so grateful that I had it.